Hi, how you doing there, folks? I'm making this video talking to you tonight because the bailout plan that's supposed to rescue the MTA and rescue us who have to depend on the MTA buses and subways, Metro North, Long Island Railroad, Suffolk County Transit, Long Island Bus, Metro North, Long Island Railroad, basically has stalled. And it has stalled because of two rogue state senators. State Senator Craig Johnson, State Senators Brian Foley. Now, they're both state senators from Long Island, and basically what they said was, this is Rex's country we represent. Most of our constituents drive, so who cares about you people that are poor, that gotta depend on taking mass transit? They said they're absolutely gonna refuse to support any payroll tax which would support the MTA at a very small percentage, and it would be paid by employers, not by people working. And the governor offered to make a compromise. The governor said, well, we'll make it that school districts and local governments won't have to pay it, and that's the way it should be. School districts and local governments shouldn't have to pay it. It should just be the it should come from the private sector. Okay, and they said absolutely no, not going to support it. Then the six rogue state senators said they would not support bridge tolls at all in order to support the MTA, even the $2 each way, which was the compromise made by State Assemblyman Sheldon Silver. Then there's Governor David Patterson, who's against a 3-cent hike in the gasoline tax to be part of a bailout to support the MTA. And people driving wouldn't even feel that. Someone driving, I went through this in another video, that 3 cents, folks, 3 cents. The price of a gallon of gas in the outer boroughs is $2.19 a gallon. In Manhattan, it's $2.29. The high point of it was $3.50, and it's going to go down even lower because the price of a barrel of oil is going down almost every day as a result of less people driving. And it has to do with the economy. Also, and the fact that more oil is being pumped. Let me see if I get this closer. New York City riders are on the Doomsday Express, and these state senators pretty much could care less. We need to give them a call, and we need to tell them, prove the MTA bailout plan, which is going to call for the whole amount of money called for that was supposed to come in a bailout from the Ravage plan, or simply we're not going to vote for them. We're going to vote them out of office, folks. And they have to listen. Okay, now let me go explain the whole thing, and I'll explain the whole thing right from the beginning. Back in 2002, it was $67 for an unlimited use Metro card to get around the buses and subway. Metro cards. Here, folks. Guess how much it is now? 81 smackaroos, and without the bailout plan, it's going to go up to 103, and it's going to be paying more for less. 23 bus routes are going to be cut out. Another 40 routes are not going to run on weekends. The number of routes are going to, there's going to be no overnight service on a number of the bus routes. Subways are going to only run a half hour apart at night, and when they do the work on the tracks and all that, and you got to backtrack or you got to go way around by way of China, it could possibly take as much as 2 to 3 hours just to go a lousy 12 miles, folks. All of a sudden you got to go one way, then you got to wait another whole half hour. Then they're going to eliminate 4 subway lines completely. And with eliminating these bus routes, the trains are going to be so overcrowded, folks. It's going to be almost impossible to even get on. And I am the type, along with many others, that likes to get on, get a seat, and read the paper. Which is the whole idea of using mass transit and not the benefit and not driving. Well, folks, I can't afford a car. And many people cannot that ride these buses and subways. And these state senators are refusing to understand the issue that most people that ride mass transit cannot afford a car, and these people that are rich that can afford to drive into Manhattan to work like big shots can't afford $2 to go each way. They're already paying $15 a day in these parking garages, for Pete's sakes. Alright. Now I am mad as heck. I'm mad as heck, man. I actually think I'm mad as heck at these idiots that are supposed to be representing us that are not. Now to go even further, people that ride mass transit and New York, they ride the New York City buses and subways. Now I have the facts on my other video, which I'm going to have. Which is going to be underneath this video, and which I want you to watch also. I'll make sure to have it in response to this video. But the fact of the matter is that people who ride mass transit save 2 million gallons of gas a year from being burnt. And that's less pollution. Let these draconian fare hikes and service cuts go through. Many of these people that are using a lot of people are using mass transit are going to start driving. And we could possibly have pollution on the same way on the like Los Angeles and Tokyo, Japan, folks. This is ridiculous. Now let me go through all the proposals were from the beginning. Okay. Now the payroll tax is now off the table, okay? It was 0.60. They went down to 0.30 as a compromise to try to get this passed, because some said they would support it if it was that low, okay? Now because of these idiots over here, this Brian Foley and this Craig Johnson, make a compromise, lower it even further to get this proposal passed. Lower it down to 0.20 and make it that local governments, non-profits, and school districts won't have to pay it. Okay? Number 1. Number 2, they should pass the 50-cent hike in the taxi fares, and the 50 cents from each taxi fare goes to support the MTA. That they should do, because how many times I have been waiting at a bus stop where there were people waiting for the bus, and all of a sudden their hand goes out and they go taxi, and those are fares lost that otherwise would have been had, and that money alone could be used toward this problem. Maybe wouldn't be happening. Okay. They should do all the car-related fees that are likely to be passed should pass. They have been proposed. Okay, that's number 3. Number 3, do a compromise to get Governor David Patterson to support the hike in the gasoline tax. Instead of 3 cents a gallon, make it 2 cents a gallon. There's going to have to be Republicans that are going to have to come on board to get this thing passed. So let's make a compromise. Okay, 1% goes to support transit systems upstate. 2% goes towards road and bridge repairs upstate. 1% goes towards repairing roads and bridges in Long Island and the outer boroughs. That's 4%. And 2% goes into the state general fund, and 2% goes to supporting the government of New York City. That's 8%. The rest of it goes to the MTA, and there should be bridge tolls. Let's make a compromise. Make it $1, and out of that money, that would be split amongst what I said to get